In an age of chaos, when Israel had lost its way, a voice of clarity and strength emerged from the hills of Ephraim. Not the voice of a king, nor a high priest, but a woman. Her name was Deborah. Under the shade of a palm tree between Ramah and Bethel, she held court. People from all over Israel, weary from 20 years of oppression under Jabin, the Canaanite king, flocked to her. They didn't come for royal decrees or military commands. They came for wisdom. They came for justice. And in Deborah, they found both. The air was thick with despair. The iron chariots of Sisera, Jabin's commander, patrolled the highways, a constant rattling reminder of Israel's subjugation. Fear was a shadow that clung to every village, every field. Travel was perilous, and faith was flickering like a dying lamp. But beneath the palm of Deborah, a different fire was being kindled. Her words, guided by divine insight, weren't just legal rulings. They were sparks of hope in a land shrouded in darkness. She judged with a fairness that was radical and a perception that saw beyond the surface, right into the heart of the matter. One day, the weight of her people's suffering became a divine call to action. The time for judgment under a tree was over. The time for liberation had come. Deborah sent for a man named Barak, a military leader from Kadesh Naphtali. When he stood before her, the message she delivered was not her own. It was a command from the Lord God of Israel. Go, take with you 10,000 men of Naphtali and Zebulun, and lead them up to Mount Tabor. I will lead Sisera, the commander of Jabin's army, with his chariots and his troops to the Kishon River, and give him into your hands. Barak, a seasoned warrior, looked at the prophetess. He saw the fire in her eyes, but the odds were impossible. Sisera had 900 iron chariots. 900. These were the tanks of the ancient world, instruments of terror and unstoppable force. Barak's men had simple weapons, courage, and little else. The fear was palpable. He hesitated, his voice tight with apprehension. If you go with me, I will go, but if you don't go with me, I won't go. It was a test of faith, not just for him, but for her. A man of war asking a woman, a judge, to accompany him to the battlefield. It was unheard of. But Deborah did not flinch. Her resolve was as firm as the mountain she was sending him to.
Very well, Barak. I will go with you.
Her voice ringing with authority. But because of the course you are taking, the honor will not be yours, for the Lord will deliver Sisera into the hands of a woman. Her words hung in the air, a prophecy within a command. And so, the unthinkable happened. Deborah, the judge, the prophetess, rose from her seat of judgment and prepared for war. She traveled with Barak to Kadesh, her presence a living banner of God's promise. As they went, her call for volunteers echoed through the northern tribes. 10,000 men from Zebulun and Naphtali answered, their spirits stirred by the sight of the prophetess marching among them. They were farmers, shepherds, ordinary men, now an army of faith, gathering at the foot of Mount Tabor. Mount Tabor, a solitary dome-shaped peak rising dramatically from the Jezreel Valley. It was a strategic masterstroke. From its heights, they could see the entire valley floor, the great plain where Sisera's chariots held dominion. Down below, word reached the enemy camp.
The Israelite army, a mere nuisance. They pose no threat to our might.
They march to their doom. Let them come, I will crush them.
He mustered his entire force, all 900 iron chariots and his vast army, and advanced toward the Kishon River, right into the heart of the valley, preparing to crush the rebellion once and for all. He saw a trap of his own making, with the Israelites cornered on the mountain. He couldn't have been more wrong. As Sisera's forces filled the plain, a storm was brewing, not just in the hearts of the Israelites, but in the heavens above. The sky darkened. Clouds gathered with an unnatural speed. On the summit, Deborah turned to Barak.
Barak, attack now! The divine power is with us!
Deborah.
Attack! The victory's ours!
Go! This is the day the Lord has given Sisera into your hands. Has not the Lord gone ahead of you? At her word, Barak led the 10,000 men charging down the steep slopes of Mount Tabor. It was a terrifying, almost suicidal-looking descent. But as they ran, the heavens broke open. A torrential downpour, a flash flood of divine intervention, unleashed its fury upon the valley. For Sisera's greatest weapon, his iron chariots, the storm was a catastrophe. The heavy wheels sank deep into the mire. Horses panicked, churning the earth into a deeper swamp. The unstoppable
this
war
cannot
machine
be!
was rendered useless,
Fly!
stuck, a series of iron coffins in a river of mud. The mighty Canaanite army descended into chaos, their technological advantage washed away in a single divine moment. The Israelite soldiers, light on their feet, fell upon the disoriented and immobilized enemy. The battle turned into a rout. The very thing Sisera trusted for victory had become the anchor of his defeat. He watched in horror as his invincible army was decimated. Panic seized him. The great commander abandoned his chariot, his army, his honor, and fled on foot, desperate to save his own life. Barak and his men pursued the fleeing Canaanites, and not a single one of Sisera's soldiers was left alive. Meanwhile, Sisera, exhausted and alone, ran for miles. He sought refuge in the tent of a woman named Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite. Her clan was at peace with King Jabin, so Sisera thought he would be safe. Jael welcomed him in, covering him with a blanket and giving him milk to drink when he asked for water. He was weary, and she was hospitable. He felt a flicker of hope. He instructed her to stand at the tent door and turn away any pursuers. Believing he was secure, the mighty general fell into a deep, exhausted sleep. But Jael was no friend to the oppressor. She saw an opportunity, a duty. Quietly, she took a tent peg in one hand and a hammer in the other. With a courage that mirrored Deborah's own, she drove the peg through his temple and into the ground. When Barak arrived,
Come
pursuing
inside,
his
I will
enemy,
show you the man
Jael
you're
met him
looking
at the
for.
door.
Go on, show
"Come,"
me.
she said.
Fine.
"I will show you the man you're looking for." And there he lay. The prophecy was fulfilled. The honor had gone to a woman. The victory was absolute. The power of Jabin's kingdom was shattered. The land of Israel, after 20 long years of fear, could finally breathe. A song rose from the land, a song of triumph and praise. It was the song of Deborah and Barak, a powerful poetic masterpiece celebrating the victory. It praised the tribes who answered the call and chided those who stayed behind. It recounted the fury of the heavens, the stars fighting from their courses, the river Kishon sweeping the enemy away. It immortalized the courage of Jael, calling her most blessed of women. Deborah's story is not just a tale of an ancient battle. It's a testament to the power of courage in the face of impossible odds. It shows that leadership can come from the most unexpected places, and that true strength is found not in weapons of iron, but in unwavering faith and the will to act. Thank you for watching. If you were inspired by the story of Deborah, please like and subscribe for more incredible stories from the Bible.